Good afternoon. I'm standing here beside a page from the old Northwest Catholic Progress, and it shows a photograph of the old church, and then it says First Mass at Assumption Church in Seattle, 1924. We've come a long way. This morning at Mass, I started with the kids to school, and as it was All Saints' Day, I talked about All Saints' Day. First I asked them, shout out your name. And they all shout out their names. And I said, that's fine. God calls each one of you by name to be holy, to be a saint. You're on a journey to become fully a saint. And then I asked them, put their hands up to those who had loved ones, family members who had died. And hands went up all over the place. And I said, those who have died like that, they are saints. They are saints with God. It's good to know that. I said, who was out last night trick-or-treating? And hands went up everywhere, bang, and loud. I said, trick-or-treating came from an old Irish celebration from ancient times in pagan Ireland. They celebrated at this time of the year when it was darker, beginning of winter time. And they felt that the veil between the dead and the living was very slim, and that the dead could come through. And so they believed that the dead would come to visit at that time of the year. And so they celebrated it. And they celebrated not of fear, but it was a joyful thing for them. But for us, it can be scary, that whole idea. But then Ireland became a Christian country, and the church called that day All Souls' Day, and then the eve of All Saints. And so we celebrate that now. But funny enough, the celebration we have today of trick-or-treating and so forth, that came from Ireland. The immigrants from Ireland in the 19th century brought out their culture and some of their things they celebrated, and that was one of them, celebrating All Saints' Eve. And we didn't have pumpkins in Ireland at that time, so they carved out of large sugar beets and large turnips. They made their things out of that. Now, of course, in Ireland, they have the same as we have, and they can do the same as we do. But the idea behind that was, showing the life of the dead to the living, putting a candle inside the light when you carved it out. That's where it came from. And they brought it, and it grew. And now it's a big commercial thing. But what we love doing is, you see in the neighbourhood, having these sheets flying like in the neighbourhood on trees and so forth. And that symbolises the dead flitting around, And I passed one place in my neighbourhood where the skeleton is on the ground like that, reminding us, same thing. But people don't understand why they do it. And that's the thing, really, to understand why we do it. That's why I try to get the kids to understand why we do what we do in a way that's able to be joyful, not with fear, but with joy. And so today, All Saints' Day, we remember all who've gone before us. Not the ones like St. Bridget or St. Patrick or St. Mary or whoever they go. Just people from our own families who've gone before us. They now are saints with God in the fullness of life. Thank you for being there for me.